Good morning, Coffee Nation. Welcome to Coffee Nation. It's so good to see you. And, oh, wow. All right, Mojo. Listening to one of my books. Very cool. Awesome. 4 in the morning. Yep. I actually was up at 4 in the morning. I've had a rough week of sleep or no sleep, as we're in. So right now, let's see. I have been up. Can't even do the math right now. 30 hours. I've been up for 30 straight hours. Insomnia is a son of a gun. So hopefully tonight will be the night that I crash out and get 7 hours. That would be lovely. Perk coffee forever. Yes, Paul. And I'm drinking Merity's coffee from Franklin, Tennessee right now. So hello, Dr. Kelly. I can't believe you're awake for this, but you are always up. You're always up for it. Ray Braun's here and Shelley. Hello, Heather LeBlanc. 30 hours. It is pretty awful. It sucked. Hi, Allison. Good morning. Yeah, so did you guys see anything about the square-shaped clouds in the sky? Morning, Gumry. I just, a friend of mine sent me that yesterday, and I didn't even remember where it was, but I thought it was really weird. There's just been a lot of weird stuff happening lately in the world, and my first inclination when I saw that was, okay, this is photoshopped. Obviously, that's the skeptical thing. So, oh, we're doing good, buddy. We're doing good, Paul. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it. Morning, Deborah. Did I already say that? Morning, Michelle. I'm working as fast as I can, Paul. Anyway, well, speaking of, I'll shift to that. But yeah, so I don't know if you've seen anything. It's not, so they're square shaped. It's got straight edges. I've never seen anything like it. I didn't know what it was. I figured there was a reasonable explanation. Unlike the green lasers that shot down from space over Hawaii, there's not a reasonable explanation for that. Well, I gave one on Friday. The Axiom is landing. It came back too fast. No, I think we're settled on that it was the Chinese, right? That they're doing a lot of mischief right now. Isn't that what we decided? I don't know. Morning, Jim. I can't believe you're awake, Jim. All the way out in Oregon. It's really early out there, man. You gotta feed the chickens and do all that stuff. You're on agricultural time. No, but I was watching, so I was in the title, I had a little Joe Rogan reaction. I was watching this episode where he's talking to Neil Brennan. And Neil Brennan was talking, I guess I've only watched a couple of minutes of it because I was trying to watch it with Megan, but then she went to pick up our kid from a sleepover. So I decided to save it for later, but it's a 7-minute clip of when Neil Brennan was on there talking about how ayahuasca helped him believe in God, right? And I haven't got to that part yet. It seems interesting, but I thought it was what they were first talking about was churches, super churches like Joel Osteen's church and all that. And then Rogan mentioned Scientology and L. Ron Hubbard and how many books he's written. He's written thousands of works of fiction, which is insane. I mean, like, I've published 54 books in 12 years, and that's a monumental task. Like, that's a ton of books. Like, when you write one book, when you write your first book, people are like, "Whoa, you wrote a whole book?" Like, yeah, and you feel pretty good about it. Like, it's a big task. But then, I write 4 to 6 a year. Oh, my cat's gonna want to come in. Yeah, I write like 4 to 6 a year usually. I've done, I think, 7 once, and maybe, I don't know, 8. I don't know what I did. Yeah, come on in, kitty. I closed the door because Arden will be home soon. It will be loud. Maybe not. And we're back. Come on in, kitty. It's okay. This cat's the loudest cat I've ever had. So, writing a lot of books. I feel like I've written a lot of books so far. Good grief, thousands of books. Kevin Tumlinson and I have talked about that before. Like, I don't know how he just is like. Some of those were done on like typewriter, I'm sure. A long time ago. That's even crazier. Because he had those books out, some of those books out a long time ago. Wild. Good morning, Patricia. Good morning, Tom. Oh, Jim, you don't sleep well away from home. I don't sleep well at home or anywhere, apparently. Oh, dark 30 there, huh? Yeah, it's crazy. It's a wild. I'm looking at your comment, Shelley. It's amazing how that he's done that. I don't know. Mission Earth series is good. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Very cool. Aloha. All right. I love it. I like the flowers with the pirate flag, Mojo Palms. That's pretty cool. That's awesome. Mojo Palms, I don't, are you new, or are you like to this show, or did you change your tag, your gamer tag? Your channel handle? Is it like somebody that's like, are you, because if you're new, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. It's always good to have new friends here. It's great. Or maybe I've chatted with you before and I just didn't realize. But Mojo Palms seems like a pretty cool handle. And I feel like I would have remembered that. Or maybe it's because I've been up for 30 hours. Yeah, well, drinking coffee is probably going to help. I knew what you meant, Shelley. No worries. Hubbard knew Jack Parsons? I don't know, Gumry. I have no idea. Well, look, yeah, maybe, but my thing is that, like talking about climate change, the climate change, I rail on this show so much, and then Michelle sends me, oh, cool, Mojo, I got you. Morning, Keith. Michelle sends me this thing a couple weeks ago about how, see how loud that cat is? Come here, baby. I think she misses my kid because my kid didn't stay here last night. I think that's what it is. But Michelle sent me this thing about how scientists are now considering blowing up parts of the moon in hopes that the dust and debris will provide solar shade and reduce the Earth's temperature. That sounds like a wacky version of exactly what I said needs to happen. Except I said we build the thing, we put the screen up there. It's not a shield, it's like a giant screen door. If you scientists out there watching, if you know anyone who's connected with anyone, we figured it out. It's a hot sunny day and you are sweating, you're thirsty. Oh, what would really relieve me by like 5 to 8 degrees? Oh, that shady tree over there. Go rest under the shady tree. So you go over to the shade, and what do you know? It's cooler in the shade. So if global warming is really your concern, then you will build a giant 500-mile diameter disc made out of some sort of, I don't know, that bimini stuff that they put up over tents and things in the military to look like it's not there, right? You'll do that, but giant gaps, bigger gaps, so that it makes the screen more of shade, less of shield. Put it over the polar ice caps, or the North Pole, South Pole, for one season. And what do you know? Everything, all the temperatures will drop back to, I don't know, wherever you want them to. You scientists do the math for me. I'm just giving you the idea and the solution. This is the solution. Shade. They won't do it because that's not what that global warming's not what the thing is. It's happening. It's been happening for thousands of years. They don't want to fix that. They want to fix you. That's right. That's the problem. And they think they're the solution. But it's so easy, guys. It'll be strange if they actually go through with that, with the dust thing from the moon. And they could have just built the thing and controlled it. And that's how you control the weather. Like Michio Kaku talked about. Once a species gets to that level, we're about 100 years away from that level, he said. Not if we do what I said. We'll be there tomorrow. Wonder what my friend Jonathan thinks. If he's watching this, he's always full of good ideas and good wisdom. Just read. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I saw Jordan Peterson talking to Rogan. I know some people don't like Jordan Peterson, but he was talking to Rogan about this guy that I guess he was in the 50s or 60s. That really talked a lot about how the Earth should only have 500 million to a billion people on it or whatever, and there are people around that are thinking like that. And he was like, "Are you saying that we need to kill off a lot of people?" He's like, "No, it's not like that." And he's like, "Yeah, it is like that. That's exactly what you're saying." So then, like, who? It's very strange. Strange times. Yeah. Well, cats, I was talking to Megan about this the other night. Cats are the enlightened beings because they understand entirely how to live, as Jesus said, a life in its fullness, or the abundant life, meaning that they don't need things to be happy. They just are in that middle path, that line between the yin and the yang, right? and they always look like they're meditating, they're or sleeping. But yeah, they're all like, I think that cats are beings that have achieved enlightenment, and because they feel they don't have worry about when their next meal is. It just shows up. And birds are like that too, I guess. But I don't see birds meditating like cats. They look like little Buddhas. They're chubby enough, just sitting there meditating, purring. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I like to rant about that because I dissect, I come up with conspiracy theories. I like, you know, I have my own little red string society in my head. I don't think on them too much, but when I see something that doesn't add up, it's like, oh, I don't get on QAnon or any of that stuff. But this is the thing. They're telling we're being told something that's just blatantly not true. Like I've said before, we all want cleaner air, cleaner ground, cleaner water. That's why I'm a big environmentalist for that stuff. I always have been. I've always been so against deforestation of the Amazon, and I've always, we need more plants. We need fewer manufactured things, and yeah, fewer fertilizers. We need better ways to grow food, and I'm all for that. I'm all for that. Just don't tell me that that my car is like causing the planet to heat up. Or the cows in the field, which I learned that back in ecology class in the 90s. It's funny they started talking about like as a new thing. Like we've known that for decades. But no, there was a jungle in the Sahara 5,000 years ago. We know this. There were continental glaciers about 3 hours north of 4 hours north of where I sit right now. So taller than skyscrapers. They were so huge. Must have warmed up since then. Hot button issue, everybody. Ernie's hot button takes. Cats are definitely alien creatures. That's funny. Yeah. Big sales. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yes, I'll sell it. I know who would buy it. They would use it for nefarious purposes. But I'm definitely sure. I mean, China's already sailing, balloons over us and satellites with green lasers. I might as well sell them a giant sail in the sky. I mean, it's not like that's treason at this point, because whatever's. Pretty sure most of the politicians in our government are actively participating in treasonous activities on a daily basis against the American people. But, oh my goodness. How's the movie offer coming along? I cannot speak on that particular front at this point in time. As far as Sean Wyatt and Dak Harper are concerned. So I will let you guys know the second I know anything. I'll do an emergency announcement show. Could be on a Tuesday night at 7 p.m. for all I know. When I find out somebody says, hey, we want to make a movie or a web series with Sean Wyatt, I will say, great. Let's sign the deal, and then I will make the announcement, because I'm not making any announcements without signatures on paper. So, because if until that moment, it's just wishes and dreams. But I will say this: I am working with a director who graduated from my alma mater, Southern Adventist University, and he has been working on a pilot script for a short pilot of Gideon Wolf. So that's exciting. I looked through the script the other day. It looks really cool. And so he's going to make some adjustments on it, and he's going to get me a budget, and we're going to see how much it'll cost to shoot this. What I'll probably do for this, I don't think it's going to be super expensive. So I think what I'm going to do is take some of the money from the latest project and reinvest it into that. But I'll also open it up like as a Kickstarter or whatever, so that we can get it funded, and then because I can't fit all of that bill, but I can fit some of that bill. But then we'll do some like perks, things like that. If people want to see it made, we'll do some cool stuff, cool awards, rewards. So that'll be cool, and I'm excited to see what he can do and see how it turns out. But effectively, what we're working on is the first scene from Emergence. So this is my point, Cheryl. This is exactly my point. I cannot get behind this plan because you can't control that. That could go wrong in so many ways. This is exactly right. Exactly. Hi, Wilma. It's good to see you. Now, we were just talking about this cockamamie plan of like our dear precious leaders, our global leaders, wanting to blow up a piece of the moon, just like a little, to kick some dust out into space and shield the planet from the sun's rays to ease global warming. Great. Yeah, except you can't control that dust. You don't know how long it's going to be there. What if it makes it too cold? How much dust is there going to be? Like how you can't really calculate something like that. And then how long is it there, right? Is it going to be there too long and makes everything too cold? Morning, Carrie. It's crazy. While, my way, you control the screen. You're right. I'm just going to have to patent it. I'm just going to draw it on a napkin and submit that to the trademark and patent office. And then that's what I'm going to do. I've got time today. I've been up for almost 31 hours, so that's good. I'll just keep going. Wish I could take a nap right now. If I go eat Indian food for lunch, I'll probably take a nap. That food always makes me sleepy. That'd be good. And I love Indian food. Megan's gonna kill me. She's gonna be like, "We are not going to Indian Mahal to eat." I'm like, well, you don't have to, but I want to go there. So yes, I mean, this is the other thing. Like, how big of a chunk of it are we talking? And would that altering that mass significantly of the moon, would that have an effect on the tides? That's an interesting question. That's what I was wondering. You read my mind, Patricia. I don't know. I mean, look, these are the same kind of people that right across the road in the state of Georgia, they wanted to move the state line of Georgia and Tennessee 100 yards. Oh, my kid's home. Well, it's almost been 30 minutes. So it was a good show while it lasted. But these are the same. They wanted to move the state line based on a miscalculated survey of 1811, 1810, 1811, somewhere in that range. They said that it was altered or there was a mistake made in this survey. I'm like, I'm sure there were lots of mistakes made, but these state lines aren't moving. You're talking about moving thousands of people into a state income tax state, right? You're talking about changing voting. You're changing all school districts, right? And this is crazy. They were wanting to do that. Why? Because it would give them a small patch of access to the Tennessee River so they could run a pipe from there to Atlanta because Georgia was going through such a drought and Atlanta was like choking the state from its water consumption. So it was, yeah, it was a crazy idea. And I said to a representative down there that I met, I said, look, I've got a better idea for you. Okay. You don't have to go through this crazy extreme thing that you're talking about, moving state lines, because that's not going to happen. I said, you have the Chickamauga Creek that runs right by my parents' house. And guess what that dumps into? Oh, the Tennessee River. And it's in Georgia. Chickamauga Creek is in Georgia. That creek, millions of gallons per minute on a normal day. On a flood stage, probably, I don't know, 5 million gallons per minute. I don't know what it is. It's a massive amount of water. And then in like a, low level stage, it's still a lot. And I'm thinking like, why don't you just, at the end of where that creek meets the border of Tennessee, that's where you put your pipe. And you just run that water from there. Because it's your water. It's in your state. So I appreciate that, Mr. Dempsey, but we're already working on something. Yeah, I know what you're working on. You're working on some crazy premise of moving state lines. Could you imagine if it was probably a bad example. Could you imagine if I don't know, Spain were to say to France, hey, so that border right there, that stretch of about a couple hundred yards, we want that moved based on a survey that was done incorrectly 500 years ago. What? That's the equivalent. It's insane. Yeah, I do need to. I do that. I work out. I do work out quite a bit. So I went for a nice walk yesterday. It was lovely out. Yeah. Yeah, they're watching from up there. Why is the moon always facing the same direction? I like those conspiracy theories. They're fun to look at. Something's living inside the moon. It's hollow. There's a alien force there observing us. All those things. Yeah, I like it. I think it's fun to contemplate those things. From a fictional standpoint, I will believe that those things are fictional until proven otherwise. But yeah, I would leave it too. Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. You're so spot on, Deborah. You know it. Well, yeah, I wanted to talk about books. But I'm out of time and my kid's back, so I gotta go downstairs and make brekkie, as they would say, down under. Although it's dinner time down under right now. So yeah, the books thing though, what was I gonna talk about? Well, I'm progressing on Gideon Wolf 3 right now. I'm also going to be working on the knower. So the knower I briefly mentioned before. I'm not going to give a whole lot of details about it because the knower is the book that I really feel called to write. It's not in a series, it's not anything like that. It's a standalone book, and I think it's sort of it's a meaningful story that I want to tell. So I don't usually work on 2 books at once, but I am going to be doing that for the next month. I'll be working on Gideon Wolf and The Knower. So I don't have a release date yet on Gideon Wolf. I've been real slow the last 2 weeks writing wise. So who knows? Maybe this week will pick up. I don't know. Jonathan, good morning, my friend. Oh, for sure, dude. Happy to do it, man. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't do it sooner. I have no idea, but the problem is now I've got several that are hung up in rights issues. So I don't know how I'd have to get them non-exclusive on Amazon. I'll have to look at that. But posted a new one last night, posted Norse Directive last night, so hopefully I'll be able to keep that coming. So keep more and more books going onto the platform. Not yet. I haven't checked the messages yet. So I will. Don't worry. I will probably here in a few minutes. So, all right, y'all. Thanks for joining me this morning on Coffee Nation. I feel like I missed an issue I was going to talk about, but thanks to Merity's out of Franklin for their delicious coffee and for joining me in your conversation. I will see you guys later. Take it easy. And yes, I did. Thank you, Cheryl. I'm glad you reminded me, but yes, I did. You guys have a great week, and I will see you again next time.